So this first one's called There is a Wisdom and No Escape. There is a wisdom and no escape when the wild wolves surround you and there's no chance for survival. The opportunity to be torn to shreds, the lessons that it gives, for the little that it takes. There's nothing left after they're done, except what can't be consumed. What remains is who we are. As the flesh of our ego is ripped from the bone, more than death has its teeth bared, so much more than muscle and blood is at stake. When we hear the call from the next room, we know it's a power we can't contend with, a God that we have made as much as one who has made us, who just wants to talk, but whose teeth are so sharp and whose claws seem to call ambulances to take us away. But each of us is a flower reaching up through the earth, where we have buried ourselves alive, out of ignorance, out of shame, out of boredom, out of our minds, reaching out with petals as pretty as we can make them, for a way out, for a way in, always on both sides, reaching for someone who cares too much to just leave us there, buried in the dirt, someone who will pick us up and give us the water and light that we need to survive, that we need to grow. Because we all need to die a little every now and then so that we can learn how to live. This is called The Savage Detectives, Para Ulysses. We are underused and underpaid for our services. We break things and then put them back together. We can find out about where you were last night, but we are too busy retracing our own steps. It is a dangerous world if you carry the weight that we do and go to these places that they are afraid to name. But we are earning our living even if we will not be paid until we die. They will find out about you. They will find out about us unless we find out about them first. But don't worry. Estamos siempre en el reloj. We're always on the clock. Explosions in the sky. When I think of you, we are underwater. Not all the way, but mostly. Our hands wet in July, slippery enough to reach just about anything, as long as we don't hold on too tight. It was before I left town for the first time. Our limbs brushed against each other, first accidentally, and then on purpose. So much purpose. The little that covered us came off. Everything turned on. Your legs finally wrapped around mine to keep yourself afloat, to keep both of us floating, as they waited for us by the shore, both of them, almost able to see, wondering what we were doing, knowing what we were doing. They didn't matter. Nothing mattered, except the way the sky kept falling into the quarry and that song kept playing in my head. It was a blue light that was coming from your body, smooth as a star. The sparks kept shooting out of you, into me, out of you. Raise the dead. Where were we before all this? In Eden, drinking from streams, slipping in and out of each other's bodies, sipping the nectar that dripped from the edges of our unconscious, being whoever we wanted. We weren't waiting on the miracle, we were the miracle. Before the flowers and the dinosaurs turned to oil, before the sun and the moon split up with shared custody of the sky, alimony payments to bartenders and tax-deductible charity organizations. Night and day used to be the same thing before the divorce, before the taxis ran across my feet, before my eyes turned to blanks, before the fiery crash that left us in pieces. pieces that we are looking for without even knowing it. We are searching for something that's on the tip of our tongues, a word that gets stuck in the back of our throats, that hides in the back of our minds and weighs at the bottom of our hearts. The maps we made won't help us. The rules we follow won't guide us. There is no direction home because we are already there. Burn your thoughts in the temple and then burn the temple. And this last one is called Duende. Chris wanted me to tell you guys also, if you were going to buy him birthday drinks, that you should buy me them. Duende. I could come up with 1,000 names and still not know what to call it. This name that I was given, this word, without any letters, it is what I share with you when we don't realize we're sharing anything at all. It is my birthday. It is a number. It is a plea. It is a promise. And when I read what you have written on the blank page before me, I see the shape of things to come. I see my own death and the birth waiting at the other end. I miss my children, and I miss missing them. It is black and white, but it is not simple or complicated. It is a whisper, the sound of friends waiting for you in the other room, telling you about your life. It is that moment before you finally find the door, and you can hear them preparing. You can feel them waiting to greet you. You've finally made it after all this time. I could come up with 1,000 names and still not know what to call it. Happy birthday, Chris Cole.